Welcome to Departure Delayed, the podcast that explains the hidden side of the longevity equation and quantum state anti-aging. We will always ask the question, how can my final departure date from this world be delayed? Today we will answer your nutrition and health-related questions to help you unravel the mysteries behind biological aging. The host, guest, and speakers on this program are not medical doctors. No medical claims are being stated, and the information presented is for personal research and educational purposes only. The information has not been evaluated by Health Canada, the FDA, the FTC, or the USDA, and is not intended to diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent any disease. We do not represent PRL Labs USA. So sit back, relax, and get ready to fill your cup from the fountain of youth.
Welcome to Departure Delayed. I'm your anti-aging guru, Brian Gangle from bgangel.com. Welcome to today's episode as we're going to talk about stress and how stress plays a big role in the aging equation. We're going to talk about the adrenal glands and a whole lot more. It's going to be a great episode, so hang on tight. And first and foremost, if you're new to Departure Delayed, welcome aboard. And if you are an existing listener and a follower, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us. We appreciate it. Please share this amazing podcast with a friend, neighbor, a loved one, and make sure that you subscribe to it and put a like on it as well. That would be so kind of you on iTunes. Hey, listen, we've got the biggest health event in the world taking place on October 17th to the 25th. It's an online event. It's the World Organization of Natural Medicine proudly presents Turning Point 2020, the health conference that changed the world. This is a really, really special event. The speakers on the event over these 9 days are the who's who from the 4 different universes, including health and wellness, personal development, humanitarian values, and of course, health freedoms and freedom of choice. We have the incredible Master Shah, Anthony Sims, Anna Maria Clement, Brian Clement, Andrew Wakefield, Stanley Nye, Jeffrey Smith, Nelson Campbell, Del Bigtree, Ralph Moss, Sherry Tenpenny, Daryl Wolf, Sir Gerald Smith, Leanne Campbell, Oksana Saviak, Rashid Butard, the incredible social media celebrity Letitia Montana, James Turner, Ty and Charlene Bollinger, T. Colin Campbell, Dame Dr. Sheila McKenzie, the incredible George Grant, and so many others. And that is just the first wave of speakers. More speakers are going to be announced shortly. Like I said, this is the biggest health event of its kind ever held, with more and more huge world leaders are going to be jumping into this incredible conference. You can get tickets to this incredible event right now. Go over to eventbrite.com. That's that incredible ticketing service which is used all over the world. And just key into the search menu, Turning Point 2020, and it will take you right to the conference. And you can get a discounted all-access 9-day pass to this event for only $97.50 Canadian. This is an incredible event. It will be live streamed to an estimated audience of 2.5 million people in 23 countries. You want to be part of this incredible lifting of consciousness and truly a changing point in the way that we act and behave here on Mother Earth and how we're going to move forward. And these speakers are going to be delivering words of hope and inspiration. They're going to be giving you the tools to live in the new COVID era. They're going to be giving you the ways that you can pivot and have an incredible business or have better relationships or just do more for humanity here on this incredible, beautiful place, Mother Earth. Again, this is the Turning Point 2020, the conference that changed the world on October 17th to the 25th, and you can get tickets right now at eventbrite.com and key into the search menu, Turning Point 2020. Hey, let's dive into today's episode as we're going to talk all about those incredible adrenal glands and how they play an incredible role in the aging process. So first, we have to sort of get a handle on some of the different functions of the adrenal glands. That is going to be one of the key things that we need to do. So let's start talking about some of the incredible functions of these adrenal glands. First and foremost, they actually produce a whole series of hormones, including cortisol, and I'm sure you've heard of that before because that helps the body to cope with stress and illness and injury. It helps to regulate blood sugar, glucose, and of course, blood pressure levels. About the hormone aldosterone, also from the adrenals, helps with proper balance of salt, and of course it regulates the blood's volume and the level of potassium in the blood. The adrenal androgens, which contribute to you maturing as a man or as a woman. Epinephrine or adrenaline, which helps with the response to fight or flight, excitement, and increasing heart rate. And of course is the body's uptake of oxygen and the increase of blood supply to the muscles. And norepinephrine, which is another interesting hormone which helps with body function for regular metabolic activities. So the adrenals are doing a whole slew of things. But some interesting functions really aren't talked about a lot, including, number one, the ability of the adrenal glands to control the fluid level in the colon, and it helps to control it through osmosis. And if you don't have proper fluid level in the colon, you end up with these really rock-hard bowel movements. And that's not the time to call the Roto-Rooter man, okay? That's when you should be thinking, adrenals, okay? And then, of course, the adrenals other is controlling this really cool axis in the brain, this access pathway called the hypothalamus adrenal access way. And the hypothalamus in the brain is almost like the regulator to break down the proteins into their base function amino acids and then shoot them out wherever they're needed as hormones. And the adrenal pituitary hypothalamus axis in the brain, this guy is responsible for controlling things like circadian rhythms and gut inflammation and blood sugar highs and lows. So that's another important function of the adrenals. The other is giving you sustained energy, so that you can get out in life and dig a ditch and do some really extended work and some and work some extra few hours and help humanity. And that's one of the other functions, is sustained energy. And then you get to fight or flight. And that's the ability for you to be in the sympathetic or parasympathetic mode. And I'm sure you've heard of these before, but a sympathetic is fight or flight, and the opposite is parasympathetic, rest, relax, digestion. These are all functions, including the dizzy center in the brain, is interestingly enough, it has a role for the adrenal glands. And all of these things are all affected by our stress in our body. And stress, you've heard it before, stress kills. Well, stress is definitely one of the things which ages your body faster than anything else. There's a number of ways you can actually check and test the adrenals. Medical has their methods, and natural, traditional, alternative, eclectic, and integrated medical has theirs. We use something called, for instance, HeartMath. HeartMath is this program which measures the coherence between the heart and the brain. And if the heart and brain are in sync, then everything's working the way it's supposed to be, and adrenaline, in theory, is flowing. And if the heart and the brain are not in sync, then there's some sort of impairment, and that could be where adrenaline from the adrenal glands is not flowing the proper way. Another way to test the adrenals is by urine. There's many good urine analysis kits out there which can tell you if your adrenals are hyper or hypo. And there's a big difference between those, because hyperadrenal is where we have an overproduction of the cortical steroids and things like aldosterone. And the overproduction of aldosterone can lead to, for instance, high blood pressure and a lot of symptoms like low levels of potassium, weakness, muscle aches, spasms. The opposite of that is hypoadrenal function. And this is where the body is very tired. And you may have things like cravings for salty foods and unnecessary weight loss and fatigue and muscle weakness. And you may, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon have to reach for some sort of stimulant. There's other things that people do if you're into energy muscle testing. These muscle testing modalities are also very good for checking the adrenal glands as well. Now, there's a thing that happens when you do recharge the adrenals, besides the number one, which is it really puts you on the side of the equation of healthy aging. And it slows down that aging clock tremendously and pushes back the dragon of aging. But also the other benefits are deeper, more restful sleep, ideal respiratory function, better libido, better energy, better healthy blood sugar, better memory and mood, and better kidney and blood pressure. And it strengthens the key functions of the other organ and gland systems. and helps with the absorption and the effectiveness of other key nutrients that come into the body. We have a cool way of kind of recharging these little babies, these little glands that sit right up there on top of the kidneys. And we call it the Magic 8. And one of them is for sure getting good, solid sleep. And that's what we're talking about, the rapid eye movement sleep, REM sleep. And we have a couple of aces in the hole, like first, hey, make the room nice and pitch black. Use organic cotton coverings and pillowcases. And make sure you remove any of those EMF, those electromagnetic devices like the plugged-in alarm clock. Hey, put that cell phone in another room. And buy a battery-operated alarm clock from your local dollar store. It really helps you out instead of using those EMFs, and get them out of the equation. And we've got things like live living melatonin and cool herbs that come from the magnolia plant and other herbs that come from saffron, and we have valerian. Lots of really cool stuff here that we can help to get us that, 5 to 6 hours of deep REM sleep. Number 2 on the Magic 8 is, hey, keep those adrenals hydrated. Okay, so you're supposed to drink half your body weight in ounces of water. And if you're not getting it, one of the things that you can do is lay out all your water in the morning, and then you've got to the end of the day to drink it. And if you don't, you have to drink it all at night. And then you know what's going to happen. You're going to pee the bed, and then you'll get the message to start drinking your water earlier in the day. Very important. Key base minerals are also important, including calcium, magnesium, and trace minerals. For those of you who don't speak biocheminese, that means pH level, acid alkaline. You want to have a pH in the 6.4 to 7.0 range, and that's when you know things are operating properly. And a lot of ways to move that pH. My favorite is using coral, along with a little bit of aloe vera, some vitamin D, and a good emulsifier like essential oil of lemon or orange. Those work really well. Number 4 for the Magic 8 is good quality vitamin C, not ascorbic acid, but vitamin C from a lemon or a grapefruit or an orange, or a good source like camu camu, a good living source with the body of light, and it's very important. And that also helps with the skin so that you don't photo age as quickly and you have less wrinkles. Bromelain, which is a proteolytic enzyme, kind of goes hand in hand. You can find that by having a little wedge of pineapple every day. And like our sister podcast, Nutrition That Really Works, we always say, let food be thy medicine where possible. Next is to get some B vitamins, because if you don't know about the A's and the C's and the B's and the D's and the E's, you got a big fat F. So you need some live source B vitamins. When you take those synthetic B vitamins, yet your urine turns bright yellow, and that's a sign that your body's kind of kicking it out. It's kind of like peeing your money away. So good quality live source. And of course, with any of these kind of nutrients, you can always drop me a line, bgangel777@gmail.com, and I can put you in touch with someone who can get these key nutrients into your hot little hands. But those B vitamins are really powerful. Number 6 on the Magic 8 is the adaptogens. And adaptogens work by grabbing the hormones if they're too low and bringing them up. And if they're too high, it can bring them back down as a package into the normal set zone. We're talking about 3 key guys here, including the medicinal mushrooms called cordyceps, which can contain up to 15% adenosine, literally almost the same amount as you would see in a human adrenal gland. Pretty amazing. Eleuthero, known as Siberian ginseng, and the very famous rhodiola. These guys are the adaptogens which are key for recharging those adrenal glands. Now, the other thing that we want to look at is, can we bring in some amino acids like tyrosine? Because tyrosine really ties everything together. That's why I like it's tyrosine. It's kind of neat how it's named. Tyrosine ties everything together. And it kind of connects the adrenal glands to the thyroid and a lot more. And your body can make tyrosine, by the way, by having a little phenylalanine. That equates to sesame seeds or sunflower seeds or spinach or kidney or pinto beans, broccoli, turnip, and even natural source things like blood support, which we can get from beets. Those contain natural iron, and if you have iron and phenylalanine, all you need to add then is a little bit of copper, and we can get that with a few soaked apricots or soaked prunes, and you throw away the soak water so you don't get any of the gobbledygook into your system. But if you have the iron and the copper mixed with the phenylalanine, then your body makes tyrosine. Or you could take a tyrosine supplement. That'll work just as well. And another important guy, last but certainly not least, is magnesium. Because magnesium actually holds adrenaline in the blood. And without magnesium, you have a wholesale excretion of all of that beautiful adrenaline that you've been produced. But most important for you personally, is to remember the simple mantra: it is what it is. No matter what life throws at you, no matter what stresses you out, no matter what's going on around you, it's important to know that you can take a load off of those adrenals and take a load off the aging equation enormously by just remembering you're not in control. This life owes you nothing. Life is a gift. It truly is. And learn when life comes at you in so many different ways, as it comes at all of us in these critical days, just remember, it is what it is. And if you can do that, you can really turn the tables from aging to anti-aging. And that's what I always like, turning adversity into advantage. Hey, I hope you like our little tour around those adrenal glands and how it relates to stress and the stress modules. And you know what? We got a lot of great episodes coming up for you shortly here on the Departure Delayed channel. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe to Departure Delayed. And if you have any questions, by all means, just drop me a line at bgangel777@gmail.com, and I'm glad to get your questions answered. And don't you dare forget, get on over to the Eventbrite ticket site and get your tickets for Turning Point 2020, the health conference that changed the world. And when you go over there and you see the lineup of speakers and presenters that are going to be there over this 9-day event, it will absolutely blow you away. The biggest, largest health conference from the 4 universes of healing, including personal development, including health freedoms and freedoms of choice, humanitarian, and of course the health and wellness space. All of these universes come together at Turning Point 2020, the conference that literally changed the world. You want to be part of this history-making event. And the tickets are only $97.50, and it's just an incredible event. Amazing value for you. So get on over to Eventbrite and key into the search menu in the Toronto area. That's where my tickets are being sold for Turning Point 2020. And just key into the search menu, Turning Point 2020. It'll take you right to the conference website. Until next time, I'm Brian Gangle, your anti-aging guru, wishing blessings to you all. And until next time, don't you dare forget, your final departure date can be delayed. Bye for now.